What screams "I'm uneducated"? Graduated from School of Hard Knocks on Facebook. Boss lady at Own My Own Business aka MLM scam. Contempt for educated people. Not the education system, having contempt for that is fine, just acting like people who know what they're talking about should be disregarded because they learn facts, I guess. Anti-intellectualism and smart shaming have become toxic traits of Filipino culture. People here love to get on you for having an education. Hell, you're derided as an elitist for just speaking English and people wonder why we're still a backwards third world country. Whenever some moron regurgitates a tired Facebook meme and pretends it gives them a moral, political, ethical stance. Facebook keeps taking down this picture, insert American flag draped over soldier's coffin or crying saluting soldier, like and share to keep it alive. Saying you don't want a raise because you'll pay more in taxes. Someone I work with complains about being given extra shifts because he pays more taxes. I literally can't answer him as percentages just don't mean anything to him. Lol, that's like saying you don't want your girlfriend to buy you more fries because you don't want to give her any more. Wait, that's actually an amazing analogy. People who have extremely strong opinions in subjects they have never researched. Mainly just regurgitating whatever the news said that morning. Edit, thanks for my first silver stranger. Edit 2, thanks for all the karma too. I've been disappointed until as of late because the popular posts are immediately shown to be oversimplified, sensationalist rephrasing as helpfully pointed out in the comments, like that example from a few days ago. African country has a tradition of hunting bald men because they believe their heads contain gold. Top comment. The article says that it was a single criminal incident that involved 5 people. Hard opinions on things, especially a wide range of things. Not allowing for being wrong, or deferring to experts. Dumb people don't know how dumb they are, they don't realize that their opinions aren't based on facts, and likely they don't know the facts. So they'll yell the loudest, have their mind made up on every subject, and they don't listen to logic or evidence. There's an actual psychological term for this, called the Dunning-Kruger effect. Someone knows so little that they don't even realize how little they know. They conduct a series of surveys to determine how people perceived their own intelligence relative to others. Approximately 80% of participants said they were smarter than the average person, which is mathematically impossible. The real kicker though, is that the further on the extremes the participants were, in terms of intellectual capacity, the more sure of their own intelligence they became. So in layman's terms, the smartest guy in the room and the dumbest guy in the room both thought they were the smartest, and the average Joe thought himself an idiot. Lazy and illiterate questions on local Facebook groups. When I look at my town's pages, it's full of people posting things like, "What time is the station close?" These are questions that literally take less effort to look up than to ask, written by people who are incapable not only of easily answering their question but also of writing it properly. Why waste time say lot word, when few word do trick? Trying to use big words just for the sake of it and to sound smart but in the complete wrong context. Yeah, such people are incredibly egregious. I use big words to sound more ambidextrous. Unnecessary apostrophes. An apostrophe doesn't mean, look out, here comes the letter S. It is used for contractions and to show possession. I know the local restaurant caters weddings and events, and I hear their enchiladas are good, but damn. Refusing to let someone share their side of a story or attempt to show you why they are correct in an argument and instead scream and yell about your feelings to make the other person give up. Nice try, uneducated person. We are not telling you how to get away with it. Yeah, if we started giving you the answers you might become educated on us. Trucknuts. I feel like if someone rolled up in a Tesla or a Prius with trucknuts it would be hilarious. After I was talking about flat earthers with my coworker, about how ridiculous it is or something similar, another coworker said, "I dunno, there's evidence for both sides of it." No, there's not. He also doesn't trust doctors. I found out recently that flat earthers call us normies, globetards, and I don't know what to do with this information other than share it. Arguing about things you have no idea about. I used to work in public policy. That was an interesting job because people loved to argue about, well, everything. People always had opinions on my work. It was like being a plumber and everyone having an opinion on how pipes work. Anti-vaxxers. Oddly enough, the only people I know that are anti-vax are extremely well educated and smart. Sometimes being too smart for your own good can also lead to believing these types of things. Being well educated doesn't necessarily make you intelligent, it also doesn't mean you'll always make the correct choice. Educated people make bad decisions too. I tend to see two groups of people in anti-vax camp: those who sadly lack proper education or do not have enough education to sort out through the false facts they believe. People who do have the proper education to separate fact from fiction, but are so arrogant they believe they are somehow smarter than the clear body of evidence that keeps millions of people safe when used properly. TLDR: people who support anti-vax tend to be uneducated or too arrogant for their own good. When you're discussing an issue, and they are incapable of saying, "I'm honestly uneducated on that topic, so I can't really speak on it." Instead, they let ego drive the conversation, and end up looking even more uneducated. This is the reason I tell my kids, I don't know the answer to that, but let's look it up and find out. I am desperately trying to instill in them it's okay to admit you don't know something and then learn about it. Sadly, the 16-year-old didn't catch on. He knows everything already. MLM. They get so offended if you aren't interested either. Like McDonald's don't give it that I pass them by every day without buying a burger, but apparently I'm disloyal to my family and should remember where I came from for not buying Aunt Tina's Tupperware or Cousin Marie's diet pills. People who post things like, "If you can't handle me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best." Genuinely ignoring science because it's not in the Bible, so it's not real. I had an argument with my mum about this yesterday. She hates Stephen Hawking because he was very atheist. Like sure, he was definitely very against God existing, but he is still an amazing man of science. She then told me all about how the Big Bang is fake and the Earth is made in 6 days, even though we have physical proof with telescopes that say otherwise. This is while I'm studying astrophysics, lol. Saying, you can't trust science. One day coffee is good for you, next day it's bad for you. Scientists don't know or agree on anything, tells me that you don't actually know anything about science, scientific method or publishing papers. Posting something on social media that asserts your stance on a topic, and then expressing that any dissenting comments, not that they use the word dissenting, will be deleted. Not realizing the importance of statistic significance. You are a sample size of 1. On a good number of big issues, even if you take all your experiences and those of people you know, it likely still wouldn't be enough to matter. Think vaccines don't work because 10 people you know got sick after taking them. Doesn't matter because of the overwhelming number of those who take them and are fine. Apply this to any other major topic, issue as you please. Trust the research and put your personal ignorance aside. Binary thinking, or trying to fit everything into a framework of good, bad, right, wrong. Every situation is the result of a confluence of factors and the results of any action are almost certain to be positive for some but detrimental for others. Those results of a choice extend out into time and may change as the situation changes as well. Trying to fit everything into such a simplistic model is characteristic of someone with a limited ability to think critically. Horoscopes. Anti-vax fist fights past high school. Anyone with an education usually realizes they have too much to lose by fighting someone and will avoid it unless it is absolutely necessary. When someone proves themselves wrong with their own argument, and they don't even realize it, that's a pretty good indicator that they aren't running on all cylinders. Continually bragging about their education in a certain field. We've got a guy that works for us that claims to be a chef. We're a national pizza chain and is not shy to tell you all about how he taught in a cooking school. Easily 3 out of 10 pizzas he makes has to be remade because of some glaring mistakes. There's this girl at my school who thinks that sound is faster than light. You literally believes that it is somehow, even after being proven wrong many times by teachers and students, she still says technically it is. When we ask her why she thinks this, she ignores us. Not being able to admit you don't know something or ask questions. There is nothing wrong with not knowing, the problem is not trying to learn. Often it is my spelling, punctuation and grammar that make people think I'm uneducated, but it's just dyslexia. My husband and both kids absolutely can't spell due to learning disabilities, but damn they're smart. I have learned not to be such a grammar snob. Just had an interview with a nurse today where she told my Asian boss that she used to work with Orientals but had to leave after 6 months because she didn't speak their language. After she left, I talked to my manager and was like, WTF? We are not hiring her, and this was one of the several things that was wrong. Law. Someone who constantly tries to make other people look unintelligent based on the smallest things, misspelling a word, stuttering, mixing up facts. If you try to make yourself seem like the smartest in the room by pointing out everyone's errors, then you're wasting a lot of time that could have been spent on educating yourself instead.